But first, let's understand the difference between logging and monitoring. These two terms are often used interchangeably, and that's not a good idea, since in their core, they are completely different. So what's the difference between the two? Let's begin with logging. Logging is recording the system's activity. That's simple. With logging, we document what the system did, what the users did, how did the system behave, etc. This is useful for analyzing the system's behavior and making sure everything is good, and of course, for detecting and analyzing errors. In addition, logging is often used for auditing. Using logging, we can trace users' behavior and see what they did. This audit is sometimes required for regulatory reasons, for example, in the banking industry, but also for replaying specific users' actions that led to an error. In addition, and this is perhaps the most common use, logging is used to document errors. Logging is the best way to write everything that has to do with errors happening in the system, including every little detail that might be relevant. For example, timestamp, type of error, stack trace, inner exceptions, and so on. But as we said, and as we will see later, logging should be used for much more than logging errors only. And what about monitoring? Well, monitoring is used for something else. Monitoring is based on the system's metrics. Monitoring tools look at various metrics of the system, from infrastructure-related metrics such as CPU, RAM, disk, etc., to application-related metrics such as requests per minute, orders per day, etc. These metrics are then made accessible to the users via sophisticated dashboards, but perhaps the most important part of the monitoring side are the alerts. With monitoring, we can define alerts that will be raised when a specific metric goes outside the normal range. For example, when the CPU goes above 90% or when the average response time goes above 5 seconds. In these cases, the monitoring tool sends alerts to a predefined group of people so they can handle the problem. So as you can see, logging and monitoring are completely different beasts, and both should be implemented in order to ensure our microservices system is reliable and stable.